Welcome to another
We are going.
CREWCast mini-cast.
He caught me off guard again.
No longer shorts, mini-casts. It's the new cool thing.
Yeah.
So you'll see these will just pop up in the list of every other podcast that we do. It'll just say CREWCast, then it'll have the topic title, and then it'll just have mini-cast in brackets. So you'll know that these are these more structured, just single topics, ramming off some cool stuff for you to go and take and run with. And today's one is going to be about people or things that have changed our lives that you guys can hopefully go and have a look at, and maybe some of them will float your boat and you can benefit from them like we have. I'm going to kick it straight off with two big people that helped change my mindset and pull me out of some really unknown dark places. Like I realized how down I was when I didn't realize it, and why my energy was so low. And that was Alan Watts and Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah.
These are two guys. Now, Alan Watts is almost is like a bit of a guru, a modern day guru, I assume, when it comes to the field of psychology, mindset, but he also challenges everyday habits that we've developed due to societal pressures, the way that our government systems are set up. And he basically opens your eyes to how you are being kind of channeled into a certain way of living, and helps you realize that you don't have to do that, and that you are very capable of taking hold of your own life and looking at the world in a much more positive, bright, and respectful way. It helps you. So he takes you everything. If you look, Alan Watts, there's a number of lectures you can listen to. His son now, he's sadly, a lot of these guys not with us anymore. So Alan Watts passed away, I want to say in like the 60s or early 70s. So a lot of his recordings are old school, recorded on like tape recorders. So they've got some kind of nostalgic sounds to them as well when you listen to it. It's kind of cool. It's like listening to an old record. But his son has actually started a podcast, and it's on Spotify. And it's I think if you type in Alan Watts, I just want to make sure I get the right one for you guys, because when you type in Alan Watts, you get a lot of stuff. Look at Spotify just kicking my ass like, your payment hasn't been updated. I've tried updating it 3 times, Spotify. Your system won't let me update it. You know when your cards run out, you don't realise how much of a pain in the dick that is?
Oh, I know. It's just
oh my God, everything's screaming at me.
Yeah.
Just pay us now. Yeah, they're all supportive when you're paying, aren't they?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, start just like screaming. Here we go. Let me find this mother... Alan Watts lectures. I've got numerous ones. So you can search Alan Watts lectures. There's another one called... I wonder if I've made this public, actually, because I've got a couple of playlists. But I don't know, I think they're my own personal ones. Some of us are a bit in depth. Now, I will warn you now that some of the Alan Watts stuff, if you just jump in straight away, can be a bit overwhelming. So there's a lot of bite-sized things you can listen to of his, which help lead you in. Yeah. And they're really good. And so if you just search Alan Watts within Spotify, look for shorter clips of like 10 to 20 minutes. Because his actual lectures are 2 hours, some of them long. And he's sat in a room with huge groups of people listening to him during like the 60s and stuff like that. It's really cool.
The little bits, because I've never listened to any Alan Watts on my own, but I've heard a fair bit from you. Yeah. And I do really like everything that I hear.
Oh, that's why I couldn't find it. I was on the wrong menu. So it's called Alan Watts Being in the Way. And if you search that, that's his son, who has basically taken all these old recordings, helped kind of clean them up. Yeah. And they're a fully sponsored podcast now. So they are releasing them. I think there's at least one a month that comes out every month of his father's lectures. And some of them are things that you might not have otherwise heard, because he has access to obviously all those things.
Very cool.
Then, so yeah, he's basically a lot about mindfulness. He also helps teach you about meditation, but he explains the origins of these things, and he debunks a load of kind of fairy tales we've been told about them and how they work, and he addresses that and shows how they work in everyday life to help benefit you, and that they're not these hippy dippy things, and that they have something that can really be a positive, huge driving force in your life. But he also makes you look at the world in a very different way. And he does it with a lot of metaphors and a lot of things that just help you easily latch on to what it is he's saying, rather than just be confused by a lot of psychological biffle baffle.
Yeah.
Honestly, just give him a go. And there's a lot of people who've also remixed his lectures into music things that you can use during meditating or just when you're chilling and driving the car.
That's some of the stuff that I've heard.
Eckhart Tolle, another guy, he's still alive. still rocking, and he's so funny when you Google him. He was like Penfold, Danger Mouse and Penfold. He looks like Penfold, but he's just this intriguing guy. But he helps. He's really helped me. One of the big ones he says is looking for the silence beneath the noise, and he does these teachings where he will have you follow the sound of a bell he starts with talking, and he teaches you about how one of his big ones that helped me was he teaches that thoughts are a thing, they're an entity. So like a thought is something that wants to grow, it wants to develop, it wants to distract you, it wants your attention, it wants your time. So you can start with, say, something like you're working quite happily, but then you feel a bit hungry. But because you allow that feeling of hunger to capture your attention, you then think, well, I'm hungry, I'll start searching, well, what do I feel like? What kind of food do I feel like? So then you start searching for maybe like restaurants nearby or takeaways or something you can order in. And then that distracts you from the work you're now doing. It's starting to grow, so you're developing. And then you start going further down this field of the hunger of then thinking, oh, well, I've got nothing in, and then I've got this. And 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, you've gone from feeling hungry to suddenly feeling like your life's terrible.
Yeah. And
this is because these thoughts are an entity that wants to grow. And he teaches you how to see a thought coming in, accept it, review it, but then pass over it and move back on with your day. And it teaches a lot of mindfulness. So it quietens your mind, helps teach you to quieten your mind. And he does some great things where he does this one. It's okay. So now you're sat listening to me. When you're listening to me talk, do you need to be thinking?
No, not really.
No, because I'm talking, you're just listening to me. So between now and now, did you think of anything?
I think I was just waiting.
Yeah, exactly. So over time, if I left that gap longer, you would eventually maybe think, how long is he going to leave this gap?
I was like, fuck's he doing?
Yeah, how long is he going to take to this gap? And that's fine, you think that, but then you move it on.
Yeah.
So he does little things like that where you're like, between now and now, did you think of anything? You're like, fuck no, my mind was clear. That's being present. That's a clear mind. And it's just a matter of learning to extend that ability and to have a thought come in, address it, acknowledge it, but then move on.
Yeah.
And so a lot of his stuff online is brilliant for that. So they're two guys who have been absolutely huge in getting me through some very, very tough periods of, relationship breakdowns, breakups, marriage dissolving, house moving, the whole thing's going on. Career kind of shifting where I realized I wasn't happy in certain areas and I'm moving to other areas. It's helped me be more confident in taking hold of who I am, who I want to be, what I want to do, what do I truly enjoy, and what really matters.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of reducing this need for materialism and being much more present and appreciating what's around you and what you've got.
Damn, that was good. Yours are very spiritual, emotional.
Yeah, and I'm not a spiritual dude. Like, I believe more in Batman than God. Like, it's more feasible.
Very true, actually.
Yeah.
So you all wrapped up with yours?
They're two big ones for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I see, like, mine feel like they're almost a bit underwhelming because mine are more, I suppose, just grounded with, like, they're not so emotional based. They're more like practicality based. So Matthew Syed was somebody who wrote a book that really kind of helped change the way I think about things.
Matthew Syed.
Yeah, I think it's like
Syed.
I think it's SYED or something like I can Google what it is. But he wrote a book called Black Box Thinking, SYED.
Yeah.
Matthew Syed. And the book is effectively about how making mistakes is a good thing. And if you have that kind of mindset where you can analyze what's gone on and make adaptations to that, that's actually some of the most beneficial things that can happen to you. And it really, because I still have this problem now, and I think no one likes to fail. No one likes to fucking feel like they fucked something up.
No.
But I definitely am very critical of myself, very harsh on myself when things go wrong.
Yeah, you're bad at rewarding yourself for doing something well. You'll accomplish your job, and rather than being appreciative of the fact, I accomplished this, look what I did, you'll start breaking it down as to how you could have done it better and why you didn't.
Yeah, like my brain, my default is to expect it to be perfect. So if it is perfect, I don't go, oh, well done, that was perfect. I just go, yeah, you did what you were meant to do.
Yeah.
On to the next thing.
That's so crazy.
And then when it's like not perfect, which often it isn't going to be, then I'm quite harsh on myself. And that's okay. Like, again, I'm starting to understand the benefit of making mistakes. And like I said, the principle of the book, like the reason it's called Black Box Thinking is because in an aeroplane, there is a black box. When a plane crashes, when something happens, they pull that black box out and they analyze the data and they like try to work out exactly what went wrong. So it is using that failure to prevent future ones, or to increase the safety of the aerospace industry. And there's loads of direct comparisons to other industries. It uses medicine as one of the comparisons, and how a lot, because of all the litigation that happens especially in America, where like, I'm going to sue you for this, they use very vague terminology. Things are that people dodge the truth, and also there's a certain level of cognitive dissonance where people almost can't believe it, because their job is, as a surgeon, is looking after people. They have to believe that they're brilliant at their job, and then to get feedback that means that, I made a mistake here and that killed somebody, like that would be so detrimental to their performance that they can't really even comprehend it sometimes. And anyway, so the fact that they use terms like complications to kind of, it just keeps it quite vague. And when somebody dies on a surgery table, it happens. People just kind of accept that as a risk of something going in. Whereas when a plane falls out the sky, you can't hide that. That's like, obviously it's very public. And like, don't quote me on the exact statistics because I can't remember what it is. But if the same amount of deaths that were avoidable deaths, or it was avoidable deaths or serious life-changing injuries that happen in medicine, was in the aerospace industry, it was something like the equivalent of a Boeing 747 falling out the sky every 10 minutes.
What?
It was something that might
something
not be exactly
horrendous.
Right, but it was like insane.
I hate the hospital already.
But it's not their fault though, because that's the culture that's in there now.
Is it the culture or is it the system?
It's
Protecting
both.
a hospital.
Because realistically, if they removed the risk of any litigation, if they could, because that's the thing, if they could not be sued, people, and they started to change the culture to be open about mistakes, that's how they actually get feedback. If at the moment they're fearful because they don't want to be seen as being incompetent, even though everyone still makes mistakes, because that's human. People make mistakes.
What does this cross over into right now? School days. School races. People can never lose a race. Everyone gets a fucking attendee fucking medal. Which is exactly what it is. That none of these young generations are getting told no, or need to do better, or you didn't win just by fucking turning up. It's exactly what it is. And we're going to have these generations of kids who are not going to be able to deal with real life.
They don't understand the real world, and that's it. And having this culture that is effectively in denial by trying to dodge blame, that's actually then making it so much worse for everybody else. So for me,
it's called black box thinking.
And this is like a tiny portion of the book. There is so much more. It goes into loads of really in-depth kind of actual scientific studies done on cognitive dissonance and behavioral kind of things. I don't know what the technical term is, as well as loads of random kind of anecdotal bits where they talk about court cases and things like that. And it's really, really interesting.
Interesting / scary, by the sounds of
it. It is. It's scary, but it's really eye-opening. And it does kind of make you feel, when something goes wrong, which happens every single day for me, something always, there's, whether it be small or big, something always goes wrong. Then I always, after kicking myself, then I'm just like, okay, what did I learn? How am I actually going to prevent that from happening again? Or if I can't prevent it exactly, it's like, what can I take away from it in some shape or form? And I think that's something that's, for me, it's definitely softened the blow of, like I said, me being very hypercritical of myself. So that's something that I found very just helpful and making me a more productive human being.
In everyday life.
Yeah, in everyday life. And the other one, the other person is Robert Kiyosaki. So he's like a businessman, I suppose. And if it wasn't for his book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I never would have had a business. I listened to this as an audiobook years and years ago, and that set me on the path. I ended up going through probably 10 or so of his books, and that was it. It's not the fact that he's anything amazing. I've not actually gone into too many other books on people starting businesses, because that gave me enough of a foundation, and then I started to branch out into things a little bit more specific. But he's got like his cash flow quadrant, and he's got all these kind of things, and I'm sure most of it is probably kind of not out of date, but there's probably been revised versions of these books now, and I know he's still pumping out content, but he was somebody who it was the way Rich Dad Poor Dad's told. It makes it understandable for the layman. It makes
That's what's good when they break it down. That's a lot like Alan Watts style thing. Yeah, that anything where people can take something that seems complicated and overwhelming and just break it down into these little simple, easy to digest, base foundational kind of thought patterns.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, this more complicated stuff later down, you're able to get there more easily and be in control of it when it gets deeper.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, it was still overwhelming, and I was like, oh man, I don't know anything about this. And then there'd be like, it'd tell you about, a pathway to go down, and even just to the point of like structuring a business. But then I was like, but what business? I don't know what I want to do. And then like, but they can't help you with that because that's down to you.
Yeah.
But like, it set me on the right path, and it really did help. And I know, although a lot of it was because he's based in America, so in terms of the business structure stuff, some of it doesn't apply in the UK because it's a completely different system here. But that was something that was really pivotal and definitely changed my life completely.
Without that, we wouldn't have BCB.
Yeah, not at all.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that actually gave me the confidence to think that I could have a business. I always,
Really?
didn't. I just.
It's mad because
You think of a businessman as a businessman, a guy in a suit who's seemingly quite intelligent, and I just was like, oh, I'm just an idiot. I don't know what I'm doing. And that was like, oh no, actually, these are all just normal people that just have got some bollocks and they do something.
that's a lot of it's just the guts to fucking have a go, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, Robert Kiyosaki and Matthew Syed.
We will link as much as we can for you guys in the descriptions. I've double checked in Spotify. All our links do actually click through easily enough. So they'll be in the description. They'll be active. You'll be able to click through. So I will put up the playlists I was talking about for Alan Watts and Eckhart Tolle. I'll also try and find the one which has more of the shorter breakdowns for the Alan Watts things for you guys to digest. I'll put that as digestible Watts, and then there'll be the main Alan Watts one, and then the other bits. And then with Lose, we'll send you. What do you think is going to be best for linking those?
I can send them links to either Amazon or Audible.
Do you have any links for Audible? Like things that help people? Like if you send it to them, they get something back?
I think if anyone signs up, you get like a free credit. So if
they use your link, they'll get a free credit when they sign up.
If you sign up anyway.
Oh, okay.
I think that literally if you just...
We'll try and find the best thing for you guys. If there's something we can find that gives you more when you sign up, we'll do that.
Yeah, well, I know there are some like YouTube channels and stuff that do get sponsored by Audible. So
Yeah.
I don't know how that works with
a lot of the time, that's like a
kickback or something from it.
No, they just pay to whack it in there.
Right. Yeah, but I genuinely think that for me, audiobooks is something that has changed my life. I've spoke about it a lot, and I think that I'd happily chuck in like... I've got fucking hundreds of books that have been really useful.
I need to take advantage of it because you said you had those credity things you wanted to
Yeah,
give
I've got some credits I can give you. Yeah.
I do need to try it. Because I fell asleep to a podcast the other night.
Yeah.
That's new for me.
Yeah.
Because normally I stay awake because I'm like, interesting stuff. But I felt tired, but I didn't want to not listen to this rest of this podcast. I was listening to a really interesting one about Romans using psychedelic wine.
Yeah.
And how they're at the moment currently in the process of proving that psychedelics have been involved in the history of humanity, dating all the way back to biblical times and beyond. Yeah. And that how when you look at it that way, all of these biblical stories have been told over time suddenly start to make a fuckload of sense.
Yep. We almost made it through without a tangent as well.
Yay!
But you got it in right.
Was that a tangent?
Kind of. Yeah,
I think we did
it was
well.
pretty unrelated.
I think we did well. Listen, you don't know this now, but it's nearly 2 o'clock in the morning that we're doing this.
I know. I'm ready to go to bed. I've got to be up early because I've got to go to BJJ.
Yeah, but you do it every fucking week. You've been doing this, man. You've been digging in.
I've got to get up early to get strangled by people bigger and stronger and more skilled at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu than me.
Get humbled.
Got shit to do.
Got to get in there. Keep yourself grounded. Literally.
Yeah. I'll be flat on my back, getting strangled, probably with my own my own blazer thing, whatever the fuck it's called.
Have you managed to stop getting your hair ripped out yet?
I've got literally like a rugby hat.
Oh yeah, you said you bought the.
Did I send you a picture of it?
Hat. No, you haven't sent it.
I'll get a photo tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing, it actually works quite well.
I bet it does, yeah.
But it's so fucking hot. My head is
really?
roasting hot. Yeah, because you get warm anyway. In the summer, it's going to be a nightmare.
You used to look like a special ed class, aren't you? This is you with like little fringes of hair sticking out from in between it.
Yeah. To be fair, there's a few other people that have got them now. So
They save you ears as well, though, don't they?
yeah, it will a little bit. It's not super padded. But
Oh, is it not?
There
What's
is
the
some
point of it
padding.
then?
It is like a rugby
It's a
scrum
bit
helmet.
Oh,
yeah.
it's a scrum helmet.
Yeah. So it is padded, but not like the proper wrestler ones that actually cap over your ears. They just like press them flat.
Oh.
So, like I accidentally got kneed in the ear as somebody was moving, and it still felt like I'd got kneed in the ear without it. To be honest,
Yeah.
Like so. But anyway, another tangent.
There you go. We'll
we
finish
threw that
on
one in for free. Enjoy it.
Mini podcast done for you guys one more time. We are literally trying to get as much out to you as we can every week. So if there's some ideas you want to give us, then let us go. We are currently really going to be smashing the movie reviews out for you guys. So if you haven't seen that already, we've done the movie review for The Secrets of Dumbledore, and we're going to do that with next. We're going to try and see, I think, Morbius. Morpheus. That's me talking about Harry Potter too much. So Morbius, and then we've got upcoming. We've got The Northman. And there's one other one as well.
Yeah, there's.
I can't even remember, but it's something coming out. Yeah. So we're getting on them as fast and as quickly as we can.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna. That's another little thing that we're adding in as well. So.
Yeah, so you're gonna get movie reviews out their own little mini casts as well.
Yeah, if you've got any ideas for other things that you want us to actually talk about in the mini casts, if you're on YouTube, put it in the comments.
Yeah, if you're on Spotify, there will be a question. Literally, if you scroll down under this episode, there will be a box that says what else do you want us to talk about, and then you can literally answer it. And there's also, if you check the links in the Spotify, if you scroll down, you'll see it says leave a voice note. You can literally leave us voice messages. You click the link, it'll take you through to our upload platform, which is Anchor, and you can leave us a voice message on there, and we will get it directly, and we'll actually play it on the air.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cool.
So I hope you're having a great week. Keep making that. Yeah. Keep making the batcher. Catch you next week. Woohoo! Toodle pip.
Oh, it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning.